the face. One less can of hard seltzer in this world. I'm proud of myself. So this is what everybody really looks like when they take their mask off after guns, beer, and therapy. Howdy, Hillbilly Nation. This is American Hillbilly. Man, good to see y'all out there this evening. Oh my goodness. I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. The weather, man, it's been crazy. I know for all of us. It got nice and warm, and then it got cold, and now it's starting to warm back up here, which is good news, man. I'm looking forward to spring. I mean, that's just, I love spring and I love fall. So wherever you guys are at, I hope you're having good weather, because it's finally getting back here with some good weather. And, with that being said, we were outside today doing a bunch of stuff and didn't really get a chance to make a lot for the green room. So we just brought donuts, cookies, cake, all those good stuff. Why not have something nice? Bubba's possum soup and all that stuff he brings, it's kind of getting a little old. So anyway, he thought we'd throw some nice treats in this week for everybody. And so anyway, I just want to thank you all so much for being here. Awesome side chat out there, man. You guys are always rocking and rolling. Love each and every one of you. And if it happens to be your first time here, we'll try to highlight everybody's comments and everything. That's our way of saying hi. We see you. Appreciate you being here. And we just thank you and love every one of you. And so let's get some of these people out of the green room, get them up here, okay? So anyway, first up, I'd like to bring up JH586. How you doing this evening, Jamie?
Better than I deserve. How are you, brother?
Oh, I'm doing just as fine as sliced bread, buddy.
Well, first of all, I got to say thank you for having me and putting up with me. And wife's got some stuff going on, so I may be called away at any time, but tomorrow morning at church, we got Mark Rick coming to speak at 2 services tomorrow. So we're expecting a big crowd. So if you're in the Northwest Georgia area, make it on down to Pleasant Valley South Baptist Church. We'll be glad to see
you. Man, that's awesome. That is great, brother. That is so cool. You guys are probably going to be packed, I imagine. So,
well, we got seats for 900 in the sanctuary and 400 in the overflow up in the gym. So,
oh wow!
So we got seats. So if you want to come here, Mark Rich give his talk and his testimony, we'd be grateful to have you. So, and I want to thank you for having me on. And I know I talk too much, so let's get somebody else up here.
No, you don't, brother, man. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for being here, Jamie.
Thank you.
Did anybody make your week better, or you make anybody else's week better?
No, man, I'm miserable. I'm sure I did. I've been praying a lot for a couple of guys that are members of the community, so I hope they had a good week. And
awesome.
That's where I'm
at. Well, all right, buddy. Thank you so much for being here. And up next, we're going to bring up Mr. P.O. Walter. How you doing this evening, brother? He pulling the hillbilly.
No, I'm learning from the hillbilly, his own self. He has taught me well. I'm doing right well. Thank you very much, Hillbilly, and thank you for having me along on the ride here tonight. It's going to be tough to beat the last couple of weeks here. That we had some good chats here, so I'm sure you guys over in the side chat know what to expect out of this crew, which is you never know what to expect out of this crew. So yeah,
No.
I had a good week. Got to the range a couple times. I got some reloading, and some shooting done. I got some housework done because it's been raining. Yeah, good week.
Awesome. Well, same thing. Did anybody make your week better, or did you get the chance to make somebody else's week better, brother?
Yep, on both counts.
Awesome.
My physical therapist graduated me out of his program for that knee, so I made his day better, saying, you ain't never gonna have to see me again. I hope. He smiled, and then when I was at the range, um, I guess it was Thursday. One of the range officers came up to me as I was packing up, and she says, "Walt, I just got to tell you," said, "we're so glad that you come up here every week from my town, Santa Maria, which is about 45, 50 miles south." She says, "You make our day when you come up here. You're always, helpful, and you always, take the time to stop and say thanks to us." And so nobody else does that but you. So that made me smile. That made my day.
Oh man, that's great. That is great, buddy. That is great. Well, thank you so much for being on, buddy. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir. My pleasure.
Well, up next, I'd like to bring this feller out of the bunker. It's Pat in the bunker. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on tonight, sir. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you could be here.
Me too. Me too.
You get a chance to make anybody's week better, or anybody make your week better, brother?
Well, it's been a challenging week. You guys know I've been fighting some struggles here. Nothing on the personal level, or anything, just with work and stuff. But I made my dad's day better, like the last 3 days, because I've been the one doing the super hard work. But no, somebody's made my day better this whole week, and that's having a good wife at home. And even though I come in grumpy, all PO'd or something, um, she can always calm me down, get me back down to level, and so I appreciate that from her. She's a dang good woman. So she's definitely made my week a lot better just by being there. So.
Well, that's great, buddy. That is great. Yeah, I've talked to you a few times this week. Know you've been having some ranching troubles, and that's always bad to hear. But I mean, that's glad that you have something there that can just love of a good wife that gives you that fellowship and companionship that can just make your day go from bad to better. That's always awesome, brother. So glad to have you here tonight, Pat.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. I was really last night kind of saved my sanity, and tonight's going to save my sanity again. So,
all right. Well, thank you, buddy. Well, up next, I'd like to bring out Brooke from A Great Start Shooting School. How you doing tonight, Brooke? You doing all right, buddy?
I am doing well. I don't have to work tomorrow, which is why I can stay up past my bedtime and actually come out and play with you guys, at least for a little while. Yeah, thanks for sending me the invite every week, even though I can't make it. And I appreciate getting to come and hang out. And donuts are not good for my weight loss, dude. You realize I am trying to get in shape. So here's the deal. August 24th, we're having our 25th wedding anniversary. Yours truly is trying to fit back into her wedding dress. So no more donuts in the green room. Thank you.
Oh, congratulations on that, man. 25 years. That's awesome.
It is. It is wonderful and spectacular. So,
well, do you know how long I've been married?
No.
Long enough that I don't look either direction when I cross the road. I'm joking.
Wait a second. All the nice things you were saying about having a wife who loves you.
I'm joking.
Where's the missus? You're in trouble now.
Well, congratulations then. So did anybody make your week better, or did you get a chance to make somebody else's week better?
Well, because I have my own shooting school and people just signed up and showed up for my classes, that always makes my day better. I love getting to teach people on a regular basis, and it's just doing my job is awful fun. And I'm teaching some new stuff because I've got a new curriculum and everything. And so I was super happy that some of my students, even though they have like their pistol permits and stuff, because they're here in Connecticut, you got to go through all that. They came back for a second course and it's new. So I'm just like, yay, you're still learning to learn stuff. So that was
Awesome.
lots of fun and I enjoy that. So it's kind of a mutual thing. I think I make their lives better because they learn something new. They make my lives better because I get to teach something new. So I think
Awesome.
it works out good in all of those ways.
Well, that's great, Brooke. Well, thank you so much for being here tonight. Sure. Appreciate you. And up next, we have everybody's favorite gizzard, Mr. Gizzard Gary. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for having me.
Glad you're here. So, did you have a chance making anybody's week better, or anybody make your week better? You had some travel time this week.
Had some travel time. I went to San Antonio, Texas. I got to see both of my sisters while I was down there. Got to celebrate my youngest of the two sisters' birthday on the 28th. So, and I don't get to see the two of them together very often. So I think we all made each other's day better. How about that?
Oh, man. Yeah, I bet you did.
It was a good time, but yeah, 24 hours of driving. Yeah, that's a lot of time on the road.
Scotsman said, hopefully gave Texas the bird, I think, maybe. Oh, man. Well, I'm so glad you could be here, Gary.
Yeah, just sorry I missed last week, but, sometimes family calls. So
You betcha. You betcha, always. Family first. And up next, we have Mr. Mark Thomas, the leather craftsman himself. How you doing this evening, buddy?
Doing real good. Real good. Had a great day. Spent some time outside down at the airsoft field with my son, and spent a little bit of time in the shop doing a little bit of leather work this evening. Had a good dinner, and just glad to be here with everyone tonight.
All right. Well, so glad you're here, Mark. So did you get a chance to make anybody's week better, or anybody make your week better?
Well, I did my best to keep my students well entertained this week, and that seemed to go okay. And I got a package yesterday that I didn't get to open until today. I don't know if you watched my videos last week. I made a knife sheath for a fella, and I'd made him a holster about a year ago. Well, he sent me a big box full of stuff that he picked up years ago at a yard sale, and it's all leather stuff. It's tools, stamping tools. He picked it up because he thought he might get into it one day, and he never did. So it's just been sitting, and he thought enough to, send it to me. He thought I might make use of it, and it's a whole bunch of tools, and those tools are from probably mid 70s. They're real vintage stuff. They were probably $1 a piece then. They're upwards of $9-10 a piece now. And he sent me a bag full of them, a bunch of supplies. And the best part are patterns. All the stuff for holsters and belts and just tooling and pictures, and just it's a treasure trove. I spent 2.5 hours tonight just going through it like Christmas morning.
Wow.
Yeah, I was.
Man, that is a blessing right there, man. That is great, buddy.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Man, yeah, that would be like Christmas morning. Man. I'm surprised you made it to the show. I'll be like still in there checking everything out. And Like I just got to try this real quick. And well, that's awesome, Mark. glad you can make it tonight. Appreciate you, brother.
Thanks for having me.
You got Hillbilly all choked up over that.
Oh man, I got a heart for vintage stuff, old stuff too, man. That's awesome. So last but not least, we have still in the green room, we're gonna bring out Mr. DM Foss, everybody's favorite mouse. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Awesome. So glad to see you again.
I'm glad to be seen.
Well, so glad you could be here. So, did you get a chance to make anybody's week better, or did anybody make your week better, buddy?
I am the sunshine that brightens my wife's day.
That is awesome.
Is that also
She
coming out
probably
of that, too?
appreciates that every day.
she usually just rolls her eyes.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for being here, buddy. Always appreciate you. I mean, I know your time to always work out with this show, and so I mean, it's great to have you here.
It must be an extra special show since Foss and I are both here then.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Talking about, making everybody's day better. Well, all right. Well, we are going to let me throw up this banner here real quick because as always, we are going to be having a giveaway. And it is hashtag HBN66. So if you guys want to throw out your hashtags there, and we'll start collecting those hashtags for the giveaway. And anyway, we have our very first topic for the night. And I figured this one is a pretty good one. I know everybody has something to say about this. So that's why I chose the topic and, panel, side chat. Just a heads up, you guys are all awesome. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you guys are awesome. I love each and every one of you. But some people might have some different feelings about this topic. So, let's all be respectful, with each other on, each person's feelings about certain stuff. And so this is going to be first, and we're going to start out to you, Jamie. Jamie always loves when I start out with him. He's just on it every time, man. So the first topic is with your own guns. This is you personally. I don't know exactly how I worded it right there or not, but basically what I'm trying to say is where do you prefer iron sights and for what reason, in your own personal collection? And where would optics and dots come in, to a factor? And then scopes, because, these are kind of like three basic type deals here. And for me, they kind of have maybe different priorities, as far as what guns they go on or where I might want to use each one of them. So I figured this would be a fun topic. So, Jamie, what's your thoughts on this, brother?
I'm sitting here thinking through what's in my collection, and that can be hard enough. I only have one semi-auto pistol that is cut for a red dot, but I do have one on there now, thanks to Gene and Chris from the 740 and guys like that. And
What is this?
iron sights are on all my other handguns, other than that one, and I like them. That's what I grew up with. That's what I'm most familiar shooting with. Hunting guns, hunting rifles, they almost all have scopes. because I'm advancing in age and I don't see like I used to. I have to decide, and I've told y'all this over and over, I have to decide if I want to see my sights or if I want to see my target. And in a hunting situation, you've got to see both. So I use a scope, and I think I do okay with scopes. As I've grown accustomed to them. But there's red dots on AR-15s now. I have one that's got a rifle scope on it. I have one that's got a red dot on it, but it's more of a rifle style red dot. And that's the one that I would grab if I was surrounded or if I had, stuff to take care of close up. And then the other one, I can probably reach out to 300 to 400 yards with it, with that scope that's on it. So, everything has a purpose and what you're planning to do with that particular tool. And that's what they are tools, no more, no less. Whether it be for fun, whether it be for home defense or personal defense, whatever. Tools have purposes, and everything is not a hammer. So you've got to tailor your needs and your uses for that particular thing. Good night, Scotsman.
We'll
Glad
see you,
you were here.
Scotsman. See you, buddy.
But those are just my thoughts. And I have all three on different things for different purposes.
Everything's a hammer when you're mad enough.
That is true. Well, all right, Jamie. Well, thanks a lot, buddy. So, Walter, what do you think about this?
Well, I'm kind of in the same boat as Jamie. My handguns don't wear optics, with the exception of two 22 caliber semi-auto pistols. They're both Ruger Marks. We got a Mark II and a Mark IV, and they both have red dots on them. All of my other handguns, and there's probably 30 of them, are just iron sights. And at the distances that I shoot is maybe out to 25 yards at the very farthest. And even with an optic, I wasn't going to be hitting much beyond that anyway. And it always felt, and I don't want anybody taking this wrong, because I know what it's all about when you're into competition and so forth. That's a different ballgame from the kind of shooting that I'm doing. But for me personally, when I'm at the range and I'm shooting out at 15 yards, using an optic on a revolver, it seems like there's something wrong with that picture. And with my other semi-autos, like the 45s, it feels like I'm cheating. And I know it isn't, because guys do it all the time in all the various other forms of the sport. But to me, it does, and so I don't, I just don't like them on most of my handguns, except those two 22s, and I do kind of like them on those for no apparent reason other than at one point X number of years ago when red dots first started coming out, I said, I think I'm going to put one on this Ruger Mark II and see how I like it. And I did. And and so then I got a Ruger Mark IV and I put one on there too. And then I end up changing them both out, and they both have the same red dot on them, because I'd go to the range and shoot one with one dot and I couldn't remember how the other one works the next time. They're different. So now they have both the same Hollow Sun 507s on them. So, and as far as the rifles, and you guys know, I'm not much of a rifleman, but I do have some. My 223 is scoped. My AR-15 is scoped. I actually have a red dot on my PCC on my Ruger 9mm carbine. And again, that one never shoots past 50 yards, so red dot's fine for that. But that's kind of the extent of, I got to take that back again, because my rimfire rifles are scoped also. The 17 HMRs, there's two of them, and there's a couple of 22 long rifles that wear scopes, and that's so I can at least point at something that's 100 yards out. I can kind of see the target through an 18 power scope out there, kind of. So that's my story. Handguns, pretty much nope. Iron sights, long guns. Yeah, I'll put a peep, on my lever guns, and I'll put some kind of an optic on the bolt and semi-auto rifles.
Awesome. Yeah, it's good stuff, buddy, and a lot of good stuff out there in the side chat too. So anyway, Pat, we'll drop on down to you, buddy.
Yeah, I don't have any red dots on pistols or anything like that, even though I've shot a couple with some reflex sights and stuff like that and some regular red dots, and they're fine. Don't get me wrong. It's just I don't have anything cut for them except for one, and I just never had the need on a pistol. I mean, to each their own on that. I ain't saying one way or the other on a pistol because it's whatever the heck you want to do. But as far as rifles and stuff like that, I got a AR for home defense, and I'm running a 3x9 on it, and it works pretty good on the old Yotes and skunk tartar out to quite a few yards. So, but up close and personal, if that one's my bedside, I've got a red dot on 45-degree cant, and do close-up work with that in the house or just outside on Yotes or skunks or possums or anything running through the yard that dogs alert me to. Or, but yeah, other than that, let's see, what else do I got? Yeah, I've got 122. I've got a Henry. Most of my 22s are not scoped except for one right now. My Henry lever action works great on that. Just a little 6 power sitting on top of that works great, especially if I'm going to do a little work on the more little rodents like squirrels or something like that. So my eyes are starting to get a little bit on the fuzzy side. Never had great eyesight to begin with. That's why I had these since I was 13. So yeah, it just kind of depends at the job at hand. But yeah, if I'm hunting and it's longer range, I got to have a scope on it. But anything up close, do like the red dots, whether it's on a pistol or even on a rifle. So, but that's just kind of my preference. And on let's see, pistol caliber carbine, the old High Point back behind me is just got a little 6.3 power sitting on top of it. It's actually a shotgun scope, and it ranges out perfect to about 75 is dead center on the old shotgun scope with the old trapezoid on it. And if I get out to about that 125 yard, just aim at the bottom of the trapezoid, and it's always worked pretty good on Yotes. So I got a mixed bag of things on everything. So I can't say one way or the other on scopes and optics and red dots. So yeah, it's like Jamie said, it's a tool. It's whatever tool works best. So especially with the old eyesight.
Yeah, the High Point carbine, like, it don't matter what you got on it. That gun's so good, you just point it and shoot it. It'll even shoot around corners, whatever. It's just such a good gun.
And I'm surprised why we haven't seen a High Point carbine in a John Wick video as good as those are.
10-round mags, that's why, probably.
Oh yeah. Maybe just a little.
Hey, don't be making fun of us, our 10-round mag states out here. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot, Pat. That was good
Sorry,
stuff.
Walter. It's very sad for us. All these other people living in freedom places.
So, Brooke, how about you?
All right. So my first experience with a scope was at like 5 years old, and we're all shooting off the back of a porch. And this is probably my first time holding a rifle. It was probably a 22 because, 5 years old, I didn't know a lot. And I pulled the trigger, and no one told me anything about where your face was supposed to be. So I got my first black eye from a scope. So I don't like scopes. As far as red dots, I was vehemently against them for a long time because I'm like, I do not want my life to rely on my ability to remember to change a battery. I thought that was a really bad idea. So as far as the guns go, I've gotten a lot more training and go up to SIG Academy here in New Hampshire. One advantage of being in New England. And we did some red dot courses. And it was one of those things where, all right, red dots are faster. That is kind of cool. So I did get a SIG with a red dot. However, I have the co-witness sights. So if my battery dies, I still have my iron sights. So for the most part, I am definitely an iron sights girl because it's what I teach primarily. Also, the cost. I mean, iron sights are on the top of pretty much every gun you get. The cost prohibitive of having a red dot on there. So at the same time, when I take my students out and I'm teaching them lining up their sights, they do decent. But when I teach them how to shoot red dot, they hit a lot better, a lot faster. So I've got pros and cons for all of it. My husband, Viejo, has all his revolvers with his red dot on it for I-Corps competition and that sort of thing. So so we have plenty of them in the house. But as far as teaching and stuff, I just stick with no batteries because that will always serve you. And once you figure out iron sights, then when you go to rifles and stuff like that, you can figure out people and that sort of thing pretty easy. So number one fan of iron sights. I totally see why people get hooked on red dots. But like I said, I just know I don't change my batteries in my fire detector every time we change the clocks. So I don't know if I'd pay attention to when I have to change my batteries in my sights.
That's a good point.
Yeah. And, for me, on pretty much everything I have, pistols that has a red dot on them, I got co-witness sights. So it don't matter if the dot goes out or not. But we do have a pro tip out here from Defense Dad. He says, don't mount your scope backwards. It makes things seem far away and your zero will be way off. So I don't know if that's from experience or what, but that's good information, buddy.
I don't know. My favorite comment out there was from 556. If I ever tried to add fiber optic to any firearm, I'd end up accidentally having cable TV and internet through my Glock or AR.
Yeah.
Like that'd be some pretty fancy tech right there.
Yep. You listen to this podcast while you're shooting your gun. All right. Well, good stuff, Rick. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. And it won't real quick. Is that an issue with some of your students?
What's that?
Like the choice of iron sights or a dot, because like your training's a lot with pistols, right?
Yeah, I'm a handgun girl for sure.
Yeah.
Can I shoot a rifle or shotgun? Yeah. Do I very often? No. And so yeah, my Great Start Shooting School is absolutely handguns. Bread and butter is getting people through their pistol permit classes, and the NRA teaches iron sights, and USCCA also pretty much teaches iron sights. And again, you have to figure that I have people from all walks of life, and we want to get them started in the easiest, least expensive way to go because it's so expensive even just to get your permit around here. So I would not really introduce a brand new shooter to a red dot just because it adds another barrier because now it's more expensive.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I said, I will pull out a red dot for some, and maybe someone who already has their first gun. It's one of those things, like I try to keep people in the $400 to $600 range for their first firearm, not in the $800 to $1,500 range. So that's also one of those things why I'm like, I don't go to optics. And like I said, my original thought was batteries in my life. No, that's not a good plan in my world.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for sharing that with us.
Sure.
So, Mr. Gizzard Gary, what do you got to say about this, brother?
Well, basic rule of thumb is anything I'm going to carry has iron sights. Now, that being said, I do own 5 different pistols with red dots. Now, To be fair, 3 of them I bought with the dots already on there, used. So I didn't buy those dots, but most of those are like stuff I would take to the range, like my TX22 and my amp and stuff like that. They were bought to be used at the range. They were about to shoot for fun. So as far as and I have one rifle. My AR, of course, has a dot on it. None of my other rifles do, and of course, none of my shotguns. The rest of my pistols are all also iron sights. I don't own any scopes, so yeah, I don't have a whole lot, but I've got a few. If I want to go shoot at the range for fun and try to be, precise and see just how good and steady I can hold that thing, I've got the dots. But I've also got plenty of guns that don't have the iron sights. And like I say, anything I carry, because I'm kind of like Brooke, I don't want failure. I don't want to have to mess with trying to find that dot in the heat of the moment and stuff like that. I just want, the clean presentation. Here's your sights. There's a target. Let's get it done. So that doesn't mean anybody who has a dot on theirs is wrong. That's just, for me, that's the way I'm comfortable doing it. So.
Sorry about that.
Well, everybody's moving around on me. Wow.
Well, when you were talking, I was trying to mute myself, and instead I just cut myself off completely. I'm like,
oh, I don't mind you. I wouldn't want to hear myself talk either.
I know. I was trying to be polite because I was
like
around moving stuff. And I'm like, I'll just mute myself. And like, no, apparently I don't know how to do that.
Well, she put in a private chat. She said, "I'll be back when Gary gets there."
Oh no, that's not what I said.
Oh man. Well, good stuff, Gary. Thanks for sharing that. And so, Mark Thomas, let's jump on over to you, buddy.
I sure wish I could say that everything just had iron sights and I could still rely on those, but I'm feeling it just like several others that my eyesight just doesn't handle it. My handguns, I still prefer iron sights. I did last summer. I put a red dot on a dagger pistol just to try to see if I could do it, and I put a red dot on a Taurus 357 revolver, and I can handle the red dot on the automatic. That works, but I still don't like the red dot on the revolver. I'm trying to. I'm carrying it. I'm using it. I'm shooting it when I can, but I just don't like it. And I don't know if I ever will, but I'm going to keep trying. Shotguns, all still pretty much just, using that bead. Shotgun's a shotgun. My rifles are kind of a mixed bag. The 22s, I like having a scope on, like being able to hit. I just can't see the iron sights well enough anymore. I hate the idea of having a scope on a lever action rifle. And my old, I won't. I'll miss. I'll just use those for target. My hunting guns, my hunting rifles, they'll have a scope. Even that Marlin 336 Defense Dad, I feel you, brother. I wouldn't want to drill an old one, and put a scope on it, but the one that I got, it was already done, so I was okay with it. Love that gun, love shooting it, and love having that scope on it. It makes all the difference in the world. So that's a mixed bag, mixed feelings. I really wish I could still do the iron sights, but just have to accept the fact that I can't. So making do with what I can.
Awesome. Yeah, good stuff there, buddy. Thanks a lot for sharing that with us. And so, Mr. DM Foss, what's your thoughts on this, brother?
Well, I don't have any red dots on handguns. I'm not against them. I just don't have any. For rifles, my 5.56s and my 300 Blackout, those have red dots. And then the larger calibers have scopes. like the 450 Bushmaster and my 30-06 and 6.5 Grendel. Those have scopes on them. It's kind of the short range is iron sights, mid range is red dots with backups, and then longer range is scoped. But
Yeah.
Nothing technical, nothing fancy.
Yeah. I got behind on the chest there. Yeah, that's good stuff. A lot of good stuff out there in the side chat too. For me, oh man, I don't know. All of you, I'm sure, no matter what age we are, as a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 goes by, things in our life change. And for me, part of that is eyesight. I have always had wonderful eyesight all my life, very thankful for it. But about 40, I just remember like around 45 or so, it seemed like this in one day, I went to read the menu at a restaurant and I found myself holding it farther away. And I'm like, why is this blurry? I'm like, man, it must be allergies or something, And anyway, that stuff just kind of got farther and farther away to where now I'd have to have my wife hold it up across the table or something, for me to read it if I didn't have my reading glasses with me. And it stinks. It really does. And so as a hillbilly living up here in the mountains, we always used iron sights. I mean, iron sights is on, everything. And like I didn't get my first automatic pistol till I was probably in my late 20s, early 30s. We were revolvers, lever guns, bolt action, shotguns, stuff like that. And so iron sights, was always a way of life for me. And I love iron sights. But as I got getting older, things started kind of changing. And, and I've found out that, some of these optics and, scopes really make a difference, and helping me not only, see my sights and the target, and so, and talking about the lever action with a scope on it, my old Marlin, that was one of the guns that I had a scope on. Lever action, 30-30. Yeah, they grow longer arms, yeah. But on that one, believe it or not, I had an over under, mount, scope mount with it. And, I think it's got an old Bushnell on it. It still has the same scope that's had on it for years. And that's because here in these hills, you can't get a real long shot, So, a lot of stuff's going to, like for deer hunting, it's going to be up, fairly up close or up closer. But, if we're in kind of a field, and our fields ain't very big down here, but, you could, raise up and use that scope. And so, that's kind of how my whole life has been around here. But as I'm starting to try out these different optics and stuff, man, some of it's just been game changers for me. I mean, they really have helped me see what I'm shooting and shoot better. And I'm just going to say this from a safety point of view, we're all responsible, for every bullet that comes out of our, firearm. And if something can aid me into seeing better and shooting a tighter group, then I kind of throw that along down with safety purposes, you know. Why would I want to John Wayne it, you know, when, you know, my eyes are not capable of being able to do that, you know? Because, you know, the shot's probably going to be off, and plus there's always a safety issue with that. So, you know, I guess I just want to say I'm not, you know, telling anybody to do one thing or the other. But if you're having trouble, you know, don't feel like, you know, man, fellas are going to make fun of me if I put a scope or a dot or something on this, because it can literally turn into a safety situation where it helps you be a safer shooter and be more accurate. And that's kind of my 2 cents on it, you know. And I wish I had, my eyesight was perfect and I didn't need anything but an iron sight, you know. Honestly, I think that's great. And I have different, that's why I was kind of going around the room and like asking everybody, you know, there's different, Jamie hit the nail on the head right there. There's different tools for different jobs, you know. And I still think that is a great example. You know, if anybody's ever had a scope on their deer rifle and have a deer run up within, you know, 15 yards of, and you pull that scope up and all you can see is, if you can find it, a blur of, you know, brown, you know, I mean, you know, so it's just different for each and every tool. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want a, you know, a big scope on my firearm that I'm going to use for self-defense in the house, you know, for sure. So anyway, I think everybody has some great stuff out there, man. Thank you all for sharing that. And guys, make sure you get your hashtag in, HBN66, and we'll be doing a giveaway after a bit. And so, is anybody else, after we've been through, anybody else want to add anything else to, once you kind of heard everybody's stuff or anything? Or did you see a side chat out there that caught your interest or anything?
Well, just what you were saying about the safety thing. When we're training up at SIG, they're just talking about how you're target focused with a red dot versus when you're iron sights, you're actually looking at your iron sights. I have USCCA and NRA instructions at instructor creds, and it's just like USCCA talks a lot more about the fact, let's say you are in a self-defense situation, just how your tunnel vision goes. And it's just like, when you have a bad guy coming at you, chances are you're focusing on a little tiny piece of that person, generally whatever weapon they have that you want to use against you. And that the red dot is faster and easier to find than taking the time that you need to throw your iron sights up. So, I mean, it's back to Jamie's thing about it's the right tool for the right thing. It's like, what are you doing with it? Or like even Viejo said about competition. Yes, red dots are all the rage in competition. There's very few iron sights out there still. But it's just like, well, what are you using it for? So that's my other additional 2 cents for you.
Awesome.
Right. This is my thing. This is America. And you're free to own your firearms and therefore do what you got to do to enjoy your stuff. Don't make a rip what somebody else thinks about it. And
Exactly.
to defense Dad, about all of my 336s have scopes on them. And I hunt with them. I got to have a scope on them, and they're drilled and tapped from the factory for a scope. So they're even designed to have side ejection. So don't let nobody give you no crap about that.
Exactly.
Go have fun with your stuff. Go shoot. You'll get better. You'll enjoy your stuff more. And you'll just be a better person because you're going to be happier. Right, Walter?
I have to laugh at Defense Dad's thing. I put a red dot on my daughter's Nerf blaster. I had to. It had a pick rail, for God's sake. Yeah. So my son's in Boy Scouts, and once a year they would have the Nerf wars. And like I said, my husband's a competitive shooter, and he's had red dots for the past decade. And he had extra, and so for both my son and my daughter, he put red dots on their Nerf guns too. Yeah, they're versatile too, and they actually fit on Nerf guns.
We were kind of talking about this on in the back chat on Georgia last night, that there's a lot of different reasons that people shoot. Some people shoot to hunt. Some people shoot for competition. Some people are like me and just go to the range because they like to, load up around and, have the bullet go where you wanted it to go. And that does it for me, So there's no point in looking down your nose at somebody because they're doing it differently than you are. And the same thing with optics. If you like an optic, then for goodness sake, use an optic. If you don't want to use an optic, then don't use one. There's no point in chastising someone else because they're not doing it your way, right?
I have the assault rifle that Michael Dunn has too.
Yeah, Michael, we got a couple of them.
Yeah, those are.
Yeah, you got the right idea putting laser on that. Yeah, that's literally. If nobody's had any of those salt guns for flies and that, we stepped up even one year. We got one for those. Supposedly, you got a stronger rubber band in it and a bigger bore, and it'll take out wasp. So, I mean, yeah.
You just use a flamethrower for the wasps. That's way more fun.
No, you take carb cleaner and set it on fire.
There you go.
Exactly.
Oh, but wait. But it's right here.
Yeah.
And this fits on a Picatinny rail, so instead of a red dot, you can have a flamethrower on your rifle.
How much does that weigh, Brooke?
It's really not. Well, yeah, no, you'd have to want to have this on your rifle. I'm not good at measuring stuff, so I'm gonna say probably 4 pounds, maybe 5.
Yeah, it's as much as the rifle in some cases.
Yeah.
So you just take this sucker off, and that's where you attach it. I'm like, that's yeah, but it's got a little tiny gas tank. It does not last as long as I was hoping it would. I would get the backpack gas tank for it if I ever did this again. But that's for walk.
Need to hillbilly that up and put a bigger tank on it.
There you go.
Like this one.
That's right, defense, Dad.
And right for the wasp.
Well, no, so we have aluminum siding, so that's why we can flamethrower the side of our house. No, we don't really.
And yellow jackets are even worse, man. They gang up on you.
Yeah.
So the best thing you can do for yellow jackets is find out where their hole is and wait till dark, because when it gets dark, they all go back in there. And then when it's dark, you pour gas down in there and wait for about 5 minutes and then set it on fire.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we done that too. My little brother did that at my mom's house that had railroad ties. We set that thing on fire. We finally go 2 o'clock, that dang railroad tie, it caught on fire pretty good. Those things are hard to put out.
Yeah, they
I
are.
like tires, actually. They got so much grease in them. Whoa.
Yeah.
That creosote.
Yeah.
You don't want to touch that stuff off with using dynamite, though. I actually know from experience.
Well,
we put about 2.5 acres of real estate 100 feet in the air doing that one time.
Oh, man.
We were trying to get rid of ground squirrels. It worked.
Dynamite for fishing, not doing that.
Bad stuff. It was some old dynamite we had.
You make me think of Caddyshack, Walter.
Yeah, I think those guys got wind of that story, and that happened up there at San Luis Obispo when I was in college, and we had 30 acres leased out of town where a bunch of us old redneck cowboys and students were staying, and we boarded horses out there, and we were forever doctoring feet and fixing ankles and all kinds of stuff. And we got to get rid of these ground squirrels, boys. So this place had leased had a basement, and there was about maybe a fourth of a box of old dynamite in there. One of the guys got this bright idea. It wasn't all that bright until
It
we
was
set it off.
exciting, though.
Boom.
Yeah,
To get rid
I
of the
knew a
squirrels.
guy that poured gasoline down a ditch line. They raked all the leaves there, and they're like, "Well, they were kind of wet." And he's like, "We went, went down through there and we sprinkled gas all the way down that ditch line. That well, we'll just let it on fire. Throw something on fire on one end. It'll just let those leaves burn all out through there." After that gas been setting, all that, those fumes there, he said, they threw it down here and the whole ditch goes, "Woo!" It blew the leaves all back in the yard and out on the road and everything.
The fumes are more flammable than the.
Oh
liquid.
yeah, they'll go. You let them set, and
Yeah.
especially if you pour it down into the ground, man, that stuff starts vaporizing and coming up.
Yeah, notice I said 5 minutes. The idea is to let it sink all the way down in the yellow jacket's nest and not no more.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
Oh, yeah. And also, I want to remember or remind everybody, or remember everybody, I guess that works both ways if you're a hillbilly. Don't forget that Thunder on the Prairie is coming up June 1st and June 2nd. And if you're interested in going this is in Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska area. So get a hold of Travis P11 or Defense Dad. And anyway, I think we got a ranch or two out there. So if you guys want to throw out Defense Dad's out there too. So throw out like his link and Travis P11's. And Defense Dad, if you got a link for somebody to go to check that out, please throw it out there, brother.
It's a lot of fun.
Here, you ain't got a ranch. Just a second, buddy. I'll give you a ranch here. Sorry about that. Oh, man. It keeps moving on me as people's talking here. Alrighty. So there you go, buddy. Now you should be able to throw something out there. But Pat's gone to it. That's on here. Foss has gone to it. So from what I hear, it's a lot of fun, and I plan on making it this year. And oh my goodness,
he woke
Brooke,
up.
I told you lock that door when you come back in. Doggone it. He let that thing unlock and Bubba got in. Is there any cake or donuts left in the green room, buddy?
There's no donuts left, and I think I might have ate the boxes I went in.
Howdy, Bubba.
Buddy. Good to see you.
Howdy, brothers. Oh, man.
So, Bubba, you're a little late getting to the party here, so we'll let you do a little catch up. So, what we went through the panel with so far is, have you made anybody's week better? Has anybody made your week better? And in your own personal, for you personally, with your firearms, what do you like with iron sights? What do you like with, a Adopt or a Prism or optic? And then what do you like with a scope?
Okay, let's get the gun stuff out of the way first. As far as iron sights and stuff, I like having the option of both. Like if I'm carrying a gun, I like to have them both because I like to have iron sights and I like to have a red dot. I like to be able to have a 1/3 co-witness. I like to be able to see my iron sights through my red dot because sometimes it's going to be too quick for you to have any real reaction time with a red dot. Sometimes it's just going to be straight up pull and, you're there. You have to fire right there and then and there. So it's always good to be trained on iron sights first. So it's always good to have that first. Not have to worry about the red dot failing you. But sometimes you're going to have to deal with somebody far away coming at you or shooting at you or something like that. Weird scenarios like that. You know what I mean? So it's always a good option to have both. So I like to carry both. As far as prisms, LPVOs, and scopes is concerned, I like LPVOs a lot. I'm getting ready to test out a prism scope. So I don't know. I really don't know what to pick on that one. Right now, I love LPVOs like mad. But now, as far as making somebody's day better, I was I went out to lunch with a couple of my coworkers, and we went to Denny's. And I love Denny's, and went there. I got this meal. I think it was like $14.45 or something like that. Was the end result? And I asked the lady working there because she seemed like she was having a very bad day. You know, you can just tell when someone's having a very, very bad day. And I asked her, I said, do you guys pull your tips together and give them to everybody, you know, split them around to everybody off the shift? She goes, no. I said, okay. And I said, oh, by the way, look over there real quick. And she looks around, and I wrote down a $15 tip. So I wrote her a tip that was well over what it was for the actual meal. And I went to walk outside, and somebody was trying to push in one of them claw machines, you know, with all the toys and stuff like that in there. And he was having trouble getting over the hump, so I helped him push it up over and into the building. And the guy was just like, thanks, man. I didn't expect to get any help at all. I said, yeah, don't worry about it, buddy. I got to get out of here, though. That lady's about to freak out here in a second. And he goes, what? I said, don't worry about it. And I want to walk off, and the lady comes out and says, sir, you tipped me $15. I said, yeah, I know. Went on out. So I don't know if I really made that woman's day better, but it certainly made me feel better, at the very least. I hate to see. First of all, it's someone handling my food. If they handle my food correctly, I'm going to tip them. And I don't, you know, maybe next time I come in, she'll be like, would you like an extra treat on the side? No, you know, you never know. But you know, it's you gotta try to give people like that some type of happiness, some type of joy. You know, sometimes that's all they're really paid on is tips. You know what I mean? And you know, I hate seeing somebody down whenever they're a server. You know what I mean? Like she was busting her butt. It wasn't like she wasn't doing her job or anything like that. It was just she just looked really sad. So I don't know. We'll find out.
Well, good stuff, buddy. Good stuff. And I want to remind everybody, make sure you get in your hashtag. It's hashtag HBN66. And we'll be doing that giveaway in about 15 minutes roughly. So anyway, real quick, I want to let Brooke talk here for a minute and explain kind of what she is involved with over with her channel and all the stuff she does, because it's great for the 2A community. I appreciate people like Brooke, you know, like even like DJ out there, he's always throwing out good links for people for 2A and like suicide prevention and stuff like that. And it's something that, you know, we all ought to be aware of, and not, you know, if not so much for ourselves, but maybe some friends or family around us. And if you've been under a rock somewhere and don't know, Brooke's show, A Great Start Shooting School, it comes on 1 hour before this show starts. So make sure you can get over there and check it out because it's always really good stuff. And so with that, I'll give you the floor here for a minute, Brooke, to kind of tell what all is going on your side there.
All right. So 30 seconds. Every Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, I pop on and I say, hi, it's Suicide Prevention Saturday. Why are we here? Because 2 out of every 3 gun deaths they talk about from the CDC are suicides. And if we want to save lives, we have to talk about mental health and suicide prevention. And that's how I start. And where we go from there, it just depends. Tonight, I think our theme was I mean, I jump around a lot because I'm like, ooh, sparkly squirrel. But the idea is the more times you get knocked over, it doesn't matter as long as you get back up. And that was tonight. And there are so many things in our lives that we take for granted. And one of the things I take for granted is the fact that I can talk about mental health and suicide prevention to people, and I'm not uncomfortable about it. I was on a podcast earlier this week, and the topic was how hard it is to talk about suicide prevention or mental health. And I've never had that issue because I've been suicidal since I was a teen, or that's when I was suicidal. And so it's just like I have that reference. So I just try to make it easy for people to talk about it. I have people that will come to me and say, hey, my neighbor just committed suicide. How can I help? The other question we talked about tonight was, how can you tell if someone is suicidal? And the answer is you can't necessarily. There are the clinical things that say, well, if they're withdrawn, they don't talk to you anymore, they're not taking care of themselves, stuff like that. That's the clinical stuff. But because I'm still in touch with my girlfriends from high school, I asked them probably on my 20th high school reunion, I'm like, guys, did you have any idea my freshman through senior year in high school that I was suicidal? They're like, no, never would
Can I
have
stop
known.
you for 1 second? I was going
Yeah.
to say Walter's still in touch with his girlfriends from high school also. But go right ahead. Sorry about that.
I know, they're on his back and on his front. Anyway. Well, that was just in the green room. We were supposed to say that out here. Yeah. But that you said you give me a minute. That was probably more than a minute. But I mean,
no, go right ahead. No, I want
it,
you to say what you need to say, because this is a real important topic. We all support the 2A, and this is something that goes along with it, So yeah, please go ahead.
Well, and I mean, another thing we talked about is this community. Like Viejo was on my at Suicide Friends Saturday. Hillbilly was, Jamie was there. Even it was last minute. Pretty sure Gary was there as well. Bubba was sleeping, so whatever. But it's like we have this community, and if you're getting knocked down, just remember to reach out. It's one of those things where in America, everyone's like, I can take care of myself. I don't need anyone else. I'm fine. And if I need help, there's something wrong. And it's like, no, we are social creatures. We need to have other people that we reach out to. And it's okay because, like Bubba was talking about, what did he get to do? He got to make someone's day better. Why? Because he cares about somebody else. And a lot of us don't feel comfy when someone else does something nice like that for us. Like, we love to give, but we're not really awesome at receiving. So there's just lots of stuff. As far as stuff that's interesting to know as a gun owner, there is this group called Walk the Talk America. And I know it's really hard to see in this light, but it says WTTA, what does it say, .org. Oh, thank you. Well, yeah, no, it's just the lighting, and the fact that it's shiny does not help. WTTA.org stands for Walk the Talk America. And if you go to their thing and there's that /love, if you have teens or you have people you're worried about, there's assessments on Walk the Talk America for love where you can just answer a bunch of questions. Like you can, like if you're afraid about depression or anxiety, you can click on the anxiety thing and answer the questions. And the cool thing about it, it will tell you, are you anxious? Are you not? Where you are? And even better, it's free. And it will give you resources as far as here are some things that can help you, get help. Here's a breathing technique for you, for example, that sort of stuff. So yeah, I could go on all night, man. So you got to stop me.
Well, yeah, I mean it's great stuff, and I know like tonight on your show, you were talking about where things had gone in your life, and like you thought, oh my goodness, how can this be happening? And then something else pops up, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm so excited about this, and then at some point, that kind of falls through, but now where you're at, in your life, I started to say age there for a second. I caught myself.
I don't care. You can look. I don't care if people know if I'm more than a century old. It's okay. I look good for my age.
You can look back and see that, this door kind of got shut and this door got open, but then that door got shut and this door got open. And so all these, doors shutting in your life that you thought was just a total, catastrophe, ended up leading to something that you're, really thankful for and glad that, you're at the place that you are. And so I thought that was really, really great.
Yeah, we don't know if something is good or bad necessarily until we've got time to look back at it later. And the short version of the story I told was simply that I was going for the Olympics. I busted my knee. I was going for my first choice college. My dad couldn't pay for it. And at the time, being 18 years old, that was the most horrible thing that could have happened to me. But had I not done that, I would not be celebrating my 25th wedding anniversary this year because I wouldn't have met my husband. So
that's awesome.
Short. But you can all go back and watch the replay and hear the whole story.
You betcha. You definitely go back and watch that, people. And I know DJs threw out some phone numbers and stuff like that. And I'll tell you one thing that you've done for me since I've met you is, I've always, like a lot of us are always, try to pay attention, be aware of our surroundings, maybe people or this and that, but it's also brought me a little extra step to where I try to recognize more of somebody, that might be going through something, and just talking to some people, maybe they might not even be going through something like that, but when you break it up, some people will say, and I get this, it's something I thought probably myself would probably be, might happen. It's like, yeah, if you're thinking about suicide or, you're in a bad place, when you go tell somebody or whatever, well then, are they going to take my guns away? Or are they going to throw me in a, round room? What's going to happen? I just going to have to deal on this on my own because I can't tell anybody because, of these circumstances that might happen. So, could you kind of talk about that for a second? Because I'm sure that's since the feedback I've got, and I've even thought that myself, after I got thinking about it. So, would you care to give a little feedback on that?
Yeah, so the Walk the Talk America, their main job is just to build that bridge between counselors and gun owners. Someone put up here about red flag laws. It's like people who write red flag laws don't understand the barriers they're actually creating of taking people's guns away. One of the things we definitely talk about when we're doing legislation work is that if I'm suicidal, taking my guns away, I can still kill myself. So taking guns away doesn't actually make sense if you're not providing services for the person who is in need. Because there's just other ways. We're all smart. We were talking about, sticks of dynamite and wasps before. There's lots of ways to go. But it's just with Walk the Talk America, they're trying to get that conversation opened up more because the people who are on one side making the red flag laws, they really do intend to help people, at least a lot of the people that support them, because they don't understand why gun owners have a hard time talking about this. Then on the other side, like I said, if we are our own first responders, we're already more responsible than a lot of folks, and we understand we're responsible for ourselves. So it's super hard sometimes for us to accept the fact we need help. And like I said, if you get knocked down, get back up. If you get knocked down and you can't get back up, that's when you have to reach out. And unfortunately, though, when you're feeling suicidal, the worst part of it is that depression is generally prior to, but you don't feel as though you want to bother anyone. You don't feel like the breath you're taking is worthwhile. And so people like at funerals that I've been to where people committed suicide, it's just like, why didn't they tell me? Why didn't they reach out? And that's the survivor's guilt talking, because they killed themselves because they believe the world is a better place without them. And this is where it's hard. You have to realize if I'm picking up the phone and making that random phone call to whoever you're thinking about right now doesn't mean they're suicidal, but we like to know that we're worthy. We like to know someone cares about us. And there's just little tiny things that we can do. Like Bubba was saying about, making that waitress have a smile on her face, helping out that dude pushing up the toy box. And it's just like, we can all make the world a little bit better. And Jamie's got to go to bed for church now because he's waving.
You betcha. And we're going to be doing that giveaway here real soon. Thank you for sharing that, Brooke. I really do appreciate you.
Sure.
And Jamie, if you got to jump off here, you want to go ahead and share what you got coming up, brother?
I got several videos I'm wanting to get made, but right now the main thing is getting everything in place for the new grandson that's coming. So he ought to be here. Projected date is March 16th, but it'll probably be. See, quick story for y'all. My mom always picked on me and said that I was due the 1st of June and I didn't get here until August the 10th. And I've been late for everything ever since. So there's that. But I need y'all's help. I'm really thinking about getting into cowboy action shooting. I need an alias. So y'all got to come up with me a cowboy alias. That's a tough one.
We're going to have to think about this.
Cowboy hat.
Oh, I got a nice cowboy hat. I have a 4XX Resistol.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. And you guys that don't know, cowboy hats Resistols are probably more expensive than that big name brand that you.
Stetson.
Yeah. Those guys. But yeah, I want to. Daughter just got home, and I'm gonna be doing finishing up the 308 series. I've got to do a video on priming cases, charging cases, and seating bullets. Those are the 3 videos that's left, and I'm not going to do much on priming because I'm going to take that guy's video and link it. And so this is all you will ever need to know about, except for that Lee thing. So that's what I got coming up. And of course, Friday nights at 8:00, Georgia Shooting Connection. We have a fun time, guys. We try to talk about shooting and reloading. Michael Dunn already did a kneeling, buddy. That was on one of the other videos. But if you want just a kneeling, I can show you how I do it. But I talked about that in one of the earlier videos in that series. It's a playlist. I've got a 308 playlist, so y'all go check that out. There you go, Tommy. That might work. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to. They call the president the bully pulpit.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've took up y'all's time. Y'all have a good rest of the evening, and thanks for having me.
Well, Jamie, thank you very much, buddy. I sure appreciate you being here as always. And guys, go over and check out JH586, subscribe, and also the Georgia Shooting Connection every Friday night, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. And it comes on right before Foul Territory from the Gizzard Gary. And then Friday nights are always great because then after that you get G-Webs. I mean, it's a full night. Saturday nights are full nights. So awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Jamie. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Night, Jamie.
See you soon.
Night.
See you, buddy. So, are we ready for a giveaway? I think we are.
Heck yeah.
And we are giving away the skinny black knife. It's still going on. I've talked about switching to something else, and every time I do, there's people's like, I don't have one yet. I want in the club. So anyway,
it's a great knife.
The skinny black knife, and it's a good knife, people. It really is. Yeah.
I love that it fits my jeans, man.
Popping out everywhere. Oh man. So we had 24 people entered in this giveaway. I'll give you guys just actually, I'll just leave it up to Bubba. But hopefully Bubba will give you guys just a few minutes or a minute. I don't know what he's going to say. So you better get your hashtag in, HBN66. So Bubba, this is on you, brother. I got the button ready, and I got this thing wound up tighter than a 8-day clock.
All right, brother. All right. You ready? All right. I'm not still ready. Give me a chance to get ready.
Okay. Get ready.
Yeah. Did Bubba play his in yet? He just got here late.
Okay, I'm ready. All right. 3.
Wait, hang on a minute. I gotta go to the bathroom.
No,
I'm joking.
All right. I gotta get ready again.
You ready?
Hold on.
You ready, Bubba?
3, 2. Just draw.
Yeah, 2.5.
Draw.
Draw? Okay.
Draw.
It's John.
Rawhide.
Hey, it's the other mark.
9. Congratulations, buddy. Holler out there in the chat, buddy. Let us know that you're still here.
Come on, garage guy. Let's see.
Yeah.
He was here.
Don't forget, there's that 10-second, before we say it, before they get to hear it. So there's that.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, he picked a bad time to go pee if he did. That's what it was a week or so ago. Somebody's like, I went to the other room or something, and they'd won, and they got back too late. And so they'd done spun again. So anyway, Bubba, I'll let you be coach on this. So I still have the tool up.
I wish I had a way to nudge him. Hey, wake up. I don't. Might have to roll again.
Well, let me crank this thing back up here.
Come on, Mark.
All right. Takes a while to wind up.
Yeah, he must have left.
I think he may have.
Well, crap. Time to roll again.
All right. Well, let me get this thing pulled back up here. I got her cranked up again. So you let me know when you want her to spin.
All right, hold on a second. 3, 2, and I think 1, and draw.
Oh, Fudd got a hashtag in there at the last second.
Oh,
DJ.
DJ.
Congratulations, DJ.
I don't know. He's dropping
We know
links.
he's
He's
still
still here. That is the question. And which alias is he under?
He went to pick up his guitar, and Sharpshooter's like, I never.
There he
win,
is.
doggone.
He's there.
I'm like, him I can nudge because I'm like, hey, dude, come back.
DJ says, wee. All right, buddy. I'm going to write your name down here.
Don't start, Brooke.
Sorry. I
Be going on.
see it. I'm like, come on. You guys all know this is way past my bedtime. So if I had to get up tomorrow morning. Oh, yeah. So DJ, Shark Guy there, said that he didn't have one or he's never won anything. And that's the only person I've seen on this panel that was saying they didn't have anything.
I got one. I got a
I
Bubba
know.
knife
I
and I
love
got a
mine.
Hillbilly knife.
I think I got two actually because Barbecue gave me one of the ones he won. One of the one. Yeah. See, it's way past bedtime.
So DJ, you wanting to gift yours to somebody that hasn't won? I guess it's what you're saying.
I don't think he said that. He was just asking, is there anybody on the panel who didn't have
Oh,
one?
okay. Oh, on the panel. Okay, I'm
On the
sorry.
panel. My bad. I have one. I love mine. I think I was like in the first 5 that got one though, for real. Shark's still saying they never win, but you know, neither do I because I'm normally sleeping.
Okay, DJ says that, yeah. So, DJ, you want to give one of my good buddy Shark? It's up to you, brother.
Yeah, he said.
Oh, to the panel member. Okay.
Now, Foss, do you have one? I know this is early for you.
I don't.
So, give it to Foss.
There you go.
Sure.
You finally have a panel member that doesn't have one.
Well, tell you what, I am going to send one out to Shark also. So,
Yeah, just bring it. Bring it to Thunder on the Prairie with you. You can give it to me then.
Okay.
Wait, Hillbilly, are you going to Thunder on the Prairie?
I am planning on it. That is my plans.
Well, maybe next year that'll be the thing I go to because I went to SHOT Show for the first time this year. I tried to do like one of these events. Y'all, there's an event every stinking month. I don't know how people get to all of them all the time.
Awesome.
He
says mouse takes the cheese.
Good one.
Oh, no. I have a comment for that one. You know, the early bird gets the worm, right? But the second mouse always gets the cheese.
That's right.
That is true.
Which, by the way, I have a dad joke that's been living rent-free in my head for like the past 2 weeks. And it has not gone away. Every once in a while, I'll think about it throughout the day. All right, you ready for it?
As ready as we can be, Bubba.
If you can say that on a family-friendly
I can say it on
manner,
I can say it on there. Trust me. It's not like the ones I tell in the back. That usually end up with, and the possum surprise was delicious. All right. Anyway, so somebody was talking about traffic jams at work one day, and I was just like, I was stuck behind a truck that had a bunch of Vapor Rub on it. And they said, "Oh yeah?" I said, "Yeah." And I was driving behind it, and it got into a wreck and toppled over. And they said, "Oh yeah?" I said, "Yes, but luckily there was no congestion at all."
That was pretty good, actually.
Oh.
It has been living rent-free in my head for 2 weeks.
Dude, we get a new one every day because we got my husband one of those dad calendars. The February 15th.
Those are beautiful.
I burnt my Hawaiian pizza. I should have cooked it at aloha temperature.
And that one doesn't hit too well right now.
No.
Michael Dunn thinks about has got an opinion about your joke there.
Well, at least the turd's smiling. I made
I
the
still tell
turd's
my
day
kids it's
better.
chocolate ice cream. I still
Yeah,
say
I think
it's
it's
chocolate
maybe
ice
what it
cream.
was. Chocolate cone.
Exactly.
I made the turd's day better. I'm good with that.
Also, DJ, if you don't mind, so we're kind of off the topic now, but would you throw out that anonymous phone number in
It's
case
988.
I think
So-
you may have threw it out earlier, but you want to throw that out again? Because I mean, there's quite a few people watch this on a rewind too, guys. So
So about a year ago, they have a new national number, which is 988. Many states already had a 211. Here in Connecticut, for example, 211, like if you need something like heat or food or counseling, 988 usually just sends them to a 211, but it became the national health thing. And you can call this number even if you're not the person in crisis, right? So it's like if you're worried about something, you can call 988 and say, hey, I've got a friend who needs help. How can you help me? And they kind of are a catch-all for like anything you need, or what's if somebody else needs help. So you don't have to be the person in crisis to call and use that.
So, like if you're hiding in the closet and you got the door hold shut and your wife's outside with the iron skillet, you can call that number.
You could. They might send help.
You're gonna sound like Donnie Baker when you call in, though. I need help.
Garage guy's back. Nobody tell him that he won earlier. They don't want him to feel bad. They missed out.
You just said it out loud.
Oh, I did, didn't I?
He might be scrolling up. You never know.
I actually think he has the Black Knight. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Garage guy, you won the drawing earlier, but you weren't on here, and we waited.
I gave you a solid
amount for you, and we had to roll again, buddy. Sorry about that, but that's how it goes sometimes. Doggone it. So I thought this would be a fun one. And let's see. There's a lot of people probably know this. So like once it's said, then everybody's gonna be like, oh, okay. But I thought this is pretty cool. So side chat and panel, whoever knows it first can just go ahead and speak out. But here is the next topic, or well, actually question. You don't win anything for answering this except for
showing how smart you are.
Here it is. Anybody know where the term come from, the whole 9 yards?
Ammo belt.
What?
From the aeroplanes. The
You
50
bet.
caliber.
Yep.
They were 9 yards long.
Yep. So when you heard in those days you gave him the whole 9 yards, that's a lot of firepower.
See,
oh
I
man, but he just gifted one Hillbilly Up membership, and Dwayne got that. Good job. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that very much. Oh, DJ said read it out loud. Yeah.
Because he's watching on an itty bitty screen and he can't read it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's why.
Yeah. But yes, that was how many feet long the ammo belt went in the plane to feed the 50 cal. And I mean, can you imagine 9 yards of 50 cal? Ooh, man.
That's expensive, man. That's lots of money.
That's okay. Our government can afford it. Okay, Garage Guy says his internet cut out again, and he already has a knife, so he would have said spin again. Well, good job, buddy. That hopefully it's working good for you now. But anyway, okay, I had another one here, but let's I think that'll get Bubba off on a tangent, so we might skip this one.
What is the question? How awesome are Glocks?
It had to do with animals, and so you have to know Bubba to just try to stay away from that question. Anything to do with animals.
I can keep it clean, I swear.
Yeah. Bubba's the reason for duck emojis being on everybody's chat for the last 2 months. It's in an after chat.
I can keep it clean, I swear to God.
Okay, if you think you can. Oh, wait here. Look at this. Man. So, Sharkshooter just did a super chat for $10. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. And if you do not know, if that is the highest super chat for the night, you actually win a skinny black knife. So, anyway,
It works out great.
Yep. The people had asked me to do that. I said I'd do it for a little while. But yeah, the biggest super chat of the night does win a skinny black knife. So, except for Brooke won it one night, but she said add it to Bubba's total. So that's what I did. And I believe you
needed that for a spare jar.
Actually, Bubba, do you want to tell about that, or you're going to do a video on it, or
of what?
What you got in the mail today from these good people?
Yeah. I got a whole video on that.
Okay.
I'm putting them all together. See, I did one for the first set of the lower parts that came in. I was just like, you know what? I'll just wait and I'll do all of it together so I can show the full thing of what's going to go into the build and then get the upper and then replace everything and then put it all together. Because the lower receiver came in Friday or came in Thursday, but I was sick. I actually got sent home from work and been sick since Thursday. So I didn't get the lower until this morning. But everything's in except for the upper because I cannot make up my mind for some reason. I can't do it.
Well, Bubba, here. You can put this on the bottom.
Oh my God. Look, I'd get in too much trouble with one of those. That's why I have not ordered it yet.
No. Tiny gas tank. It doesn't last long. You can't get in that much trouble.
Yeah. He'd be cooking his hot dogs and stuff with that thing.
Paul! How do you want it roasted?
Yeah, exactly, Bud. Part of his gun's built by milk duds. And so, I'm always straight up and honest with you guys. That night I was the reason. Well, I wasn't the reason. I just suggested it. All you guys that gave money was the reason for Bubba eating all those milk duds. So anyway, he did exactly what he said. That money, all those super chats went towards his build. And so anyway, we ain't gonna go any farther than that, except for he got in the mail today what all you guys basically your super chats went for. So anyway.
I mean, I can go get it real quick.
No, you don't have to do it, but I mean, if you want to do your video, whatever. I just want to let everybody know that those super chats, did contribute to, a lot of cool stuff that you got for your gun. But you got a video coming up on that, and so
yeah. I'm gonna tie it together with Mama at the range. I'm gonna convince her to wear a tactical vest. I swear, I'm gonna make her wear a helmet, fake nods, and everything. It's gonna be great. If I could get her to do it, she'll probably yell at me for messing up her hair.
If you can like keep this family friendly, we'll go ahead and do this next topic, and then we'll probably get off here.
I swear I can keep it family friendly.
Okay, and you might not actually have anything to say about this, but I thought it'd be fun about what is your funniest like wildlife story? You know, like something to do with the animals. It may have been camping, it may have been fishing, whatever the case. Oh, Michael Dunn says Bubba needs to code an AR like a box of milk duds.
I don't think that could be. I think that would be like a copyright thing. I think they would sue me to Uganda and back.
Yeah, and it says you got to shoot a box of milk duds with that build.
Flat dark milk duds. If I can find the yellow, look, I won't put milk duds on it, but we'll call it the milk dud paint job. I will find the yellow, I will find the brown, I will find the red and the little bitty white highlights, and just put accents like that all the way through it. If
that'd be cool.
Counts,
it'd be different.
Counts, then I can do that. I don't think I could put actual milk duds on it.
Bubba, Ozzy says call Gunskins, have them make milk dud mag skin, and I am affiliated with them, so I can get you to at least the contacts.
That would be cool, a magazine that looked like a milk dud package shoved up into your.
Honestly, I think the FDE would go good with the milk dud logo on it. Hold on. Yeah, I could probably put it on the 450.
But remind me about that, Bubba, through the week or something, and I'll try to contact them and see if they can come up with something.
Okay. Yeah. That'll be fun. Yeah. I have fun with
Good night, Willie. Good to see you, brother.
Funniest wildlife stories. I don't think. No, I don't think I actually have one. Well, one that
we got one side chat. It says me and buddies were camping one night, bonfire and all. Three deer rolled up, and in interest, very comfy with us. Soon we had one eating out of our hand, pistachios. Made friends. That is cool. That is neat.
So that just proves it was not hunting season because you can't find deer.
Oh, we could be heartfelt wildlife stories. Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, we might be able to talk to Mark and have him make you something with milk dud.
Oh my God,
Groundworks.
I was driving through, I think it was Montana. It's kind of a lonely stretch of road on the highway, and there was a rabbit that was flat as a pancake. Had been run over, but the wind had caught the ears, so the ears were sticking up.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
man.
I'm going with one of the more exciting wildlife stories. Was I think I was like 9 or 10 years old in my grandma's kitchen, and the cat had caught a snake and brought it to the kitchen, but did not kill it. It wasn't exactly us all jumping on the top of the steps or on the top of the chairs to get away from it, but it was very exciting. So it was, cat meet outside world. So yeah.
So funny. I actually do have one. I just remembered one. Okay, so funny wildlife story is my brother has a farm, right? So I'm usually working on his farm most of the time, and I go down there, and he's got, I don't know, 50 head of cattle, and he just recently bought like 75 hogs. Just don't ask. He bought them in November. I was just like, why are you buying them in November? It's just stupid. Anyway, that's not the point of the story. This is how I learned that cows are not just herbivores. And I'm walking up on one of his cows, trying to get it into the pen. And her name's Bessie. I didn't really mess with her too much. You know, she's not very aggressive. She's really nice and stuff. Usually tap her on the rear. She turns around, sees me, will follow me, right? So it's one of the nicer ones. So I come up, tap her on the rear, and I notice she's shaking her head. I'm just like, are you telling me no? That's a first. And I walk up on this cow, and I see something dangling from her mouth. And she's just shaking her head like crazy, and this thing's just flinging everywhere. And I walk up on her. I get right to the front. She turns around, and there's a snake in her mouth. And she is just chewing on this snake. This poor thing didn't have a chance. She's just flinging her, and she ate it. That's how I learned cows are not just herbivores. They are omnivores.
Tastes like
chicken. Flung
chicken.
that thing around everywhere. And I was just like, all right, Bessie, are you done? She kind of like went like this and then walked behind me and walked into the pen. Apparently she had a vendetta against that snake. I don't know what that snake did. I don't know if it was like a Hatfields and Macau's kind of deal or what. But she did not like that snake. Did not like that snake.
There's a video of a deer beside the road eating a snake on the internet.
Yeah, there's a lot of animals out there that people think are straight up just herbivores. They only eat grass. I never knew that about cows. Never knew that about
Garage guy says one night out in the garage, a red fox walked him and sat down. Said I waved to it, and it looked at me and nodded its head, then got up and walked off. Come in and say howdy.
See, now a fox doing that's even weirder because those things are extremely skittish. You could have a whole den of foxes and never know they're there.
Oh yeah.
You could have like a family of 15 there and never know they're there. They're very skittish.
Yeah, we got bobcats, and I'm walking down to my office, and we've got a blueberry field and the barn, and I'm like, I'm walking, and I just look to the blueberry field, and there's this bobcat, like maybe 10 feet from me, and I'm looking at it. It's looking at me. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I don't trust it. I'm like, I am not turning away from this thing. I am not making sudden moves. I do not want to become a bobcat toy. And it was just like, we're staring at each other. Then finally, I'm just like walking by him, and then he finally went away. But it was the weirdest thing. Never had a stare down with a bobcat. Although I will say, my next favorite animal story is I'm on the 4-wheeler out in the woods, and we're going down the trail. I've got my dog on the left of me, and I look up, and there's like a big bear trying to climb a itty bitty tree. And I'm watching the dog, I'm watching the bear, I'm watching the dog, watching the bear. I'm like, I'm trying to keep the 4-wheeler between the dog and the bear because I do not want my dog to go after the bear. And so the bear and I are looking at each other as I'm driving by the bear who's trying to climb the tree that is too small for him. So that was actually very funny because I'm just like, all right, you stay there. Yeah. So that's as funny as I got for an animal story, honestly.
I got a bunch of them. Most of them are related to either cowboying or scuba diving stuff. So I taught scuba for 20 years. And in the classes, I always had a couple dive masters, folks that I'd trained up that were assistants. And we were doing a class, I think it was their 3rd or 4th dive off one of our local beaches. We always taught everybody how to go through the surf and whatnot. So it was mandatory that we taught a beach dive. Well, one dive master who was also a deputy, I've known him for a long time, he decided it would be kind of funny to sneak up on the old instructor here and turn his air off. And that's a big no-no. So, I just reached back and turned it back on. I kind of looked at him and didn't do anything. And we start coming back in with the class. Well, we got a fish out here that's called an angel shark. And it's a flat shark. It's a member of the shark family. It looks more like a halibut. And they're pretty docile, but they're also strong. So as we're coming back in, I saw one. He's down about half buried in the sand. They got both their eyes on one side of the head, just like a halibut would. And Ken, this dive master, swims over and first didn't see him. Well, I always carry what we call a buddy line, and it's about a 6 foot length with we were talking about monkey fists the other night, 2 monkey fist knots on each end. Somebody gets scared or the visibility drops to zero, somebody can hand them one end of it, and they're not so scared. They'll tag along with you that way. So I took my buddy line and dallied one end off on Ken's regulator, and the other end I put a loop in and put it around that angel shark's tail, and it started flopping around back there like this. And he didn't know what it was until finally it flopped around right in front of him, and he sees this shark. And he starts swimming, and he couldn't figure out how come he wasn't getting away from it. He thought that shark was chasing him and biting him, and he got all the way through the surf and up on the beach before he figured out that shark was tied off onto his tank. He wasn't real thrilled about that either. I said, well, he said, don't be turning off my air down there. That wasn't funny either. Class got a kick out of that.
That's hilarious. Michael Dunn said a weasel crawl into his hunting blind. That would be wild.
Yeah, they're stinky little boogers too.
Yep. Little eyes.
Mm-hmm. So one of my stories was one of our very first goats we got. My daughter was married. They were pretty young, or in their early 20s. And her husband and his family, they had some goats and stuff. Well, one of the mamas had some babies and stuff, and so one, my daughter fell in love with this one little one, and they're, she's like, oh, it's just so cute and all that, and so they're like, yeah, you can have her. Well, then she didn't realize once these goats got older, they went to the sale barn. So anyway, she shows up one day and she's like, in the back of her car is this little goat. And she's like, Dad, can I put this goat in your fenced in yard? And I'm like, why? And she goes, because I don't want to go to the sale barn. And I'm like, well, okay. Are you going to come back and get it? She's like, yeah. Well, of course, time went on, she never did. So this goat was like a pet, And so a lot of times we go out in the garage late, in the evenings on like the weekends, and people come over and we play cards. And so we just sat out there, and that goat, we put a little cowbell on her, and she brought up with a dog. She just acted like a dog, And so she come in there and lay down or whatever, and everybody pet her and stuff. And so one night, everybody kind of left, and I told her, I said, come on, we're I'll go put you up. So we was walking in between the garage and the house. It's dark, and I had a flashlight, and so we was walking back there. I shone that flashlight, and that goat's just walking right beside me like a dog. And we get about just to the gate, and my flashlight shines on this possum, and this possum's like, that goat, it like stood backwards and fell over, and it just, clawing, and ran back to my wife in the garage, and just like, went in there and it's like, what's going on or whatever. And she had a leash on her. And so my wife's like, what's going on? I'm laughing and all this. So we go back outside, and that I chase that possum away while I'm doing this. This goat's messing around, and I had these some scrap metal sitting inside the garage, and there's this one deal. It's like it's basically springs and stuff. And she got her messing around. She got the end of her collar, her lead rope, hooked on that. So the same night, she starts walking off, that starts dragging behind her, and it scares her because, and she's running all over the place with this thing on her leash, and she's just running and bucking and jumping, and she thinks something's chasing her. Well, yeah, it is because, it was hooked on her leash, but yeah, that was a pretty funny one to be there and watch all that mess. So
Goats are silly sometimes. They're can be a real kick.
Anyway, anybody else got any stories?
If they didn't crap all over the place, I'd love to have goats.
Yeah, they get them dance all over your vehicles and everything else too. Anything that's high, they're going to get up there.
Well, it actually depends on what type of goat. Because we had the problem with some breeds of goats, and others they never got on a vehicle. Certain breeds of goats, you're dang right, man, they be right up on top of a vehicle. And but yeah. A lot of ours we sold as pets, young. I mean, bringing up ball feeding and all that, and like they're really good pets to have. Great for kids. But Michael Dunn says fainting goats are funny to watch. Yeah, they are. And I seen a video one time. I don't know what country these people were from, but and I don't know why this is being filmed, but they're looking from their native food or whatever. They ate goat a lot, so they're asking if somebody like in the area, so goat. They're looking for something to buy to eat, and so they sent them. Oh yeah, such and such down here's got a farm. He's got goats. So they went down and they're talking to this farmer, and he had fainting goats, and so he's like, yeah, I'll sell some or whatever. And they got to looking, and these goats, when they're walking the field, they start running off, and then they all, and a lot of them just faint and fall down. And the guy looks at the other one, and he goes, are they dead? And the farmer's like, no, they're fainting goats. Said, that's just what they are, Try to explain to him. He goes, oh, no, me not buy. And he's like, why? And he goes, they're good eating. He goes, yeah, I eat that, and I walk across the road, and a car honks, and I go and fall over. He thought like if you ate him, then he caused him to faint. So it was a hilarious video. I don't know if it's set up that way, but it was funny to watch. Oh yeah, goat milk. Yeah, I've had lots of goat milk and made goat cheese too. But good stuff. And another fun fact is if you got a youngin' that can't have cow's milk, they can have goat's milk. And that's why it's so expensive than certain places.
And because goat udders are so much smaller than cow's udders, obviously it's in higher demand. So.
Yeah.
All right, sir. It is now in the AM. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, well, we're wrapping this show up. So
I realize Foss is only just starting to wake up, but for some of us.
All righty. Well, let's go ahead and go through the room, and we'll close this show down. So, Brooke, we'll just start with you and work our way across. So,
all right.
Tell everybody what you got coming up and plug whatever you want to plug.
All right. So we did just talk about Suicide Prevention Saturday. You go to a Great Start Shooting School. And every Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, I am there. I started this like October or so of 2018. And I've been doing it since then. We're going on 5 years, I guess. If I do the math properly. Maybe that's
nice.
I don't know. Anyway, a Great Start Shooting School. I'm starting to do more online classes so that no matter where you are, you can come play with me. And that's kind of it. My brain does not have anything more to give you right now.
Well, thanks for being here tonight, Brooke. Enjoy you as always. Everybody go over there and check out Brooke's channel, A Great Start Shooting School, and subscribe and support her. She does a lot of great stuff for the 2A community, and we sure appreciate you being on tonight. Thank you very much. And
Well,
Foss, what do you got coming up, buddy?
Well, it's an off weekend for overnight, so no overnight, but I think we're gonna do a bracket tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Pacific. Muscle car bracket.
You got that thing plugged in already and charging, so it don't give any troubles?
It should be okay. You know, it as long as I don't mess with it, the settings are all set. So
Alrighty. Guys, make sure you go over and check out DM Foss, the Wednesday night show, and every other Saturday, and evidently a Sunday show. So, and also, we shouldn't have to play this tonight because he's not having a show tonight. But Foss was kind enough to send this video, and I want to play it for everybody. So this next Saturday we'll be playing this again.
I am gravely disappointed. Once again, you have made me unleash my dogs of war.
Howdy, everybody. How y'all doing?
There has been too much violence, too much pain. But I have an honorable compromise. Just come join us. Saturday nights, 11 p.m. Pacific, 1 a.m. Sunday metric. Just join us, and there will be an end to the horror. Just join us.
And this is an off week, so next Saturday night you'll be having the overnight party, and tomorrow night, guys, make sure you go check it out. Go over to DM Foss and subscribe. You won't be disappointed. Thank you very much for being here tonight, buddy.
well, thanks for the invite.
You betcha, anytime. So, Gizzard Gary, what are you and George up to? What you got coming up?
Oh, well, I've got a bunch more knife shorts to put out. Try to get
Awesome.
one a day out there. And obviously Friday night, Foul Territory. That's at 9 p.m. Central, right after Georgia Shooting Connections. So hopefully everybody can come and spend some time with us. We have fun, give away some stuff, and just have a good time. So it's not as good as this show, but hey, it's a show.
Oh.
So.
That's not true. It's fun over there. I enjoy being on Foul Territory.
Well, thanks for having me, sir.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Gary. So, guys, if you do not know Gizzard Gary's channel, go over and subscribe and support him. A lot of great stuff over there. Appreciate you being here, buddy. So, Walter, what do you got coming up, buddy?
Well, we got kind of a mixed bag coming up for those of you who are not reloaders. Lee Precision is the name of a company who makes a lot of reloading gear presses and dies and so forth. And they've made some significant changes in some of their gear lately. And I've got some of their new products here at the bench that I'm going to start doing some work with. So I'm going to kind of get started on that this week with some of their new dies. And we've got the next series that I'm going to do is with 230 grain round nose bullets for 45 ACP. I've got a bunch of cast bullet molds that we're going to cast up and load and shoot and chronograph and compare and whatnot. So I think that I'm going to be able to get that one started and kicked off this coming week also. Other than that, it's going to be kind of status quo around Viejo here. We got Free the Few over on Rumble still going, so that'll come up on Friday, as it always does. So that's what we got happening here. I want to thank you for inviting me. As always, Hillbilly, it's a great time here to spend a Saturday evening with all the folks in the side chat. There have I've come to regard all those guys and as well as the group here as my friends now. So it's been fun tonight as always. So thanks again.
All right, Walter. Thank you so much for being here. All right, guys, go over there and check out VAO. Check out his channel, subscribe. And you know that it's into Moldy Mondays. That's not the end of his show. He has so much more stuff on there, and it's really awesome. But there's an awesome library of 50 some Moldy Mondays. And when you watch those, and he says, go over to Rumble, to watch this part of it, go over there and check it out because it's really cool. I mean, I enjoy watching that.
Thanks,
a lot of fun. So go check him out and subscribe. And so, Bubba, what you got coming up, brother?
Well, hopefully got a new video coming out here soon. Like I said, I've been sick since Thursday night, and hopefully get a couple more videos out here soon. Got a knife in from the 2,000 subscriber giveaway for Hasbro. I got to do a review on. That I'll talk about way more later. But the 350 Legends getting a new paint job. It's been sanded down and being redone by someone who actually knows what they're doing with the certain paints that I was using. The newer ones, the stuff I did on the scope and stuff like that here lately are actually the only times I actually did anything right. So he's been teaching, my buddy Mitch has been teaching me a lot of stuff about that and how to properly paint a rifle. So hopefully that'll be coming in soon. He's been a real good friend to the channel, a real good friend of mine. He's a buddy of mine from church, and he's doing this pro bono. He's only asked me to pay for the paint cans that he uses, so it's pretty cool.
Awesome.
So the 350 Legend is going to get a brand new paint job and a little bit more of a tune-up. I did some things wrong that I didn't realize, which I'm kind of glad that he pointed them out to me, so I didn't have to go to fire a 350 Legend round and just watch my receiver fall apart.
Got that dang scope on backwards again?
No. Apparently, if your barrel nut wrench isn't tight enough and you use a sock, that doesn't help. Sock to reduce the gap. Apparently, that's not good enough. And he goes, "Bubba, did you Bubba this?" I said, "Yeah, I did." He goes, "Okay, well, we got to fix that." So he's been helping me out a lot with some stuff and telling me that you can't really Bubba everything. which I knew at some point in my heart, but we also got a video of for the review for the stuff that's been coming in that you guys have so generously donated for the milk dud eating thing that I did, which by the way my jaw still hurts. So we'll be showing off those. We're showing off the video of my grandmother going out to the range for the first time. She's never held a gun before in her life.
Wow,
and,
that's
now
awesome.
she has a taste. She wants more. But yeah, so hopefully I have a couple fun videos coming out. I'm sorry it's taking me so long to get a lot of them out. Like I said, been sick. Been working 16s like crazy. Apparently my shift is the only shift that gets to be overworked. Because every other shift cries their eyes out for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, hopefully I have some more videos coming out. But other than that, guys, stay safe, stay armed, stay 2A strong, have a fantastic day, and keep getting at it. I got nothing else for you.
Well, thank you so much for being here tonight, buddy. Appreciate
Always
you.
welcome.
Guys, make sure you go over and check out Bubba Triclops Ballistic and check out his channel. And don't miss his Wednesday, anywhere between 10 and noon show. The Good, the Bad, the Bubba. It is always a blast. So much fun. But go there and check him out and subscribe to him. And I love your little puppy there, Rick. You done scared George right off of Gary's lap.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, no. So he he comes because he's like, it's time to go. He's supposed to be laying on my feet, keeping them warm right now. He left the bed to come get me to bring me back to it. That's his job now.
Well, the side chat's already got a game for next time you're on. You have to take a drink every time Brooke yawns. So
apparently,
Yeah,
Kim has changed it.
oh yeah, they said that Bubba has to eat a milk dud. Bubba's ought to be about out of them milk duds unless he went and bought more.
No, I still got 2 or 3 boxes left.
Are you saying we need to send you more? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Yeah, he spends most of his time chasing that damn alarm clock around that you sent him.
Well, you know, that's a good thing.
It don't roll anymore. I need to have it put on a string one day and do a video of me chasing it with a shotgun.
Well, it's a good thing I only sent you the one alarm clock versus the one my son has. It's got a thing that you put under the mattress, and when the alarm goes off, it makes there a sonic boom, so it shakes you awake.
Oh boy.
I'd really be shooting something if I woke up.
Yeah.
No.
Oh man. Well, thank you guys so much tonight for being on the panel. Awesome time. Side chat, you guys are always awesome. I appreciate each and every one. I mean, I love each and every one of you guys. I mean, this is, guns, beer, and therapy. It's just a time to come together, to have fun, get our minds off of, something that went on that day or that week or whatever, and just smile and have a good time. So, if we all can do that, then we're accomplishing something, So I appreciate each and every one. I mean, I definitely cannot do this by myself by any means. And we talked about Friday nights, how action-packed that is, Georgia Shooting Connection, Gizzard Gary, and then gun websites. And then Saturday nights are also pretty dang full and exciting. We got Brooke comes on an hour before this show. And we got Guns, Beer, and Therapy. And then every other week we got Late Night with DM Foss. So, and then Sundays, there's so much stuff going on Sundays. I don't think I can remember all of it. But, guys, go over and support, a lot of these people, even on the panel, but also on the side chat. There's a lot of great content creators over there. And so go over and check them out. And I appreciate each and every one of you so much. And it seems like there's something I'm forgetting, but oh well. It wouldn't be the first time. So anyway, I just want to thank you all for being here, and want to leave you by saying, remember, God, family, and country, and make somebody's day better, will you? And if the good Lord's willing, the creeks don't rise. We'll be seeing you again, Hillbilly Nation. We love you. Everybody say goodbye.